With all the great props at this year's big box home improvement retail stores, there was one that I absolutely had to get. And if you've watched my videos and seen all the ponds in my yard, you've probably guessed it is the 7-foot Megalodon shark from Home Depot. And as you can see, we just didn't quite plan how to get it home properly, but we did manage to Tetris it here in the car. Let me go ahead and pull out this box that it came in. So if you're interested in this, you too can see what you are up against. This box measures 39 inches long, it's 32 inches wide, and 31 inches tall, so be sure you plan accordingly. Let's go ahead and pull the rest of this shark out of the car. I feel like most of that box is packaging because once I have it out, it doesn't seem like all that much. We've got, it looks like about 6 or so pieces of the body, 3 fins, of course this giant shark head, and a few supports. It also comes with an instruction book that is 9 pages long, but at least it is full color step by step. So let's go ahead and start putting this thing together with step number 1. The first thing we need to do is assemble the base. I've gone ahead and put down the base support labeled A, and then we're just going to follow the letters B and C and so forth as we move up. It also comes with 4 ground stakes. So of course we're just going to build this on the concrete, but if you wanted to, you would stake this down to make it nice and secure. I've gone ahead and put on the B support. Next we're going to do C. They just snap into place with the push pins, and it seems pretty secure. These are of course metal, so we're not going to have any problem supporting the shark. Next we're going to assemble the shark's body. We are skipping a few of the letters, and these are pieces H and I that are going to basically fit around the base. At the bottom of the body, there is a lip, so it's just going to sit right over the top of the base bar. We're going to connect them together. They're going to slot together with these little tubes, and then we have these little latches that will hold it all together. There is also a support here on the side of it that is going to sit right over this bar here. He is all latched together now. It is relatively solid. I can pick it up by the bar, flip it around, because I believe that is going to be the front. And let's move on to the next step. We have the fins. These are P, Q, and R, and they are going to snap right into these indentions in the side of the shark's body. They just have some clips. They should just go right in and snap right into place. Each one has a separately molded piece on the bottom, and they're all different, so it's only going to go in one particular location. There we go. I'm not going to lie, this is a little bit challenging. I had to get producer Tom to come give me assistance with the other one. You really have to mash them together to get it to go in properly. Let's see if we can get this one in. Success. We have our fins in place. I'm just going to go ahead and move this body off to the side because now we need to assemble the next section. In case you had any question, you should keep off of this. Do not climb or sit on the shark. But let's go ahead and assemble these 2 pieces together. It is L and K. Again, they're just going to snap together. One of them does have a cable running through it for the lighting. You may have saw it in the body. There was a cable as well. You're just going to want to make sure you don't snap those or anything. Like the other piece, these do just sort of slot together, and then you're going to clip it closed. We have the 1/2 done. I'm not thrilled with this seam here. I can't seem to get it to go together better. The way they're molded, they don't seem to want to fit together too well. Maybe once we get it up on the rest of the body, you won't notice. The other side isn't much better. In fact, I'd almost venture to say it's a little bit worse. But let's go ahead and put these two halves together. With this together, we are going to slot it onto the main part of the body. Once again, I am not too confident in how this is going to work based on these moldings not wanting to fit together exactly perfectly. I think there are about 8 or so slots for you to fit together. And once you get one in, it seems like another one pops out because they're only about this tall. So if you are not putting this in place, if you're going to try and move it, if you lift this at all, the whole thing's going to come apart. It's a shame they didn't put any of those clips to clip the top half to the bottom half. I'm not sure why they did that. Also, it's going to help if you're tall like me because there is a lot of reaching down in there to get the slots together. And in fact, now we need to connect the cable, and I'm not sure that I can even reach it at the bottom. I'm not. I'm going to need to get something to be able to reach that cable in the bottom to connect these two cables together. We do have a couple of supports to put in next, D and E, and I'm assuming that somehow these are going to connect to this top body part and hold it together a little bit better. Yes, I see there is a slot for this to fit into, so that'll at least help support the main part of the body. It's very difficult to get this support bar in the slots. With producer Tom's help, we did manage to line up these seams just a little bit better, and it's holding together slightly better, but I don't know why they couldn't have made some sort of push pin locking mechanism to hold these into place, because I think once you start shifting it around, everything keeps popping out. It's time to put the head on next. First goes the support. There is a threaded piece at the top that we're going to bolt the head on with. The top of the shark's head does have a hole. There is a cover for it, but this is where we're going to reach through to bolt that piece on. But let's go ahead and stick this over. And once again, we're going to have to line it up with these tiny little slots. Before we slot it all together, though, there is one more cable we need to connect inside. It would be nice if there were another access panel here. He's coming along. I'm a little scared to shift him around to show you what we need to do to the back, but let's give it a shot. Did pop out just a little bit. Again, I don't know why they couldn't make these clip into place better. So there's not really a hole for this bolt to go through. There's a slot, which means, of course, it's going to shift all around. I don't like props that require tools, but I do have that in place. Of course, the whole thing popped out, so hopefully we can get this back pushed together and be done. We do have the cover to slip on. Last thing we need to do is plug it in. So this cord is about 6 feet long or so. One thing that I'm so grateful they did is they put the cord plug connection on the outside of the shark here, so we can just plug it in right here. Before we light it up though, let's bring the camera in and we'll take a closer look. One thing about this prop, looking at it head on is a little less exciting than if you see it slightly from an angle here. But either direction that you look at it, you can see these amazing teeth. There are so many of them, and they are terrifying. You can also see bits of blood coming off various parts of the shark. Inside the mouth, it is solid, so you're not going to just see an empty tube in there. You can see the LED lights that we're going to see in a minute, all lit up. But as we make our way down, again, you can see all of those scars on the shark's body. As we make our way around, we can see the eye up here. Looks a little bit faded. I'm not sure if it lights up. I guess we're going to find out pretty soon. There are scars also down the body. It is angled almost like it is jumping out of the water, though, ready to attack. The fins themselves, you want to be a little careful because they tend to want to pop out. You might have to push them in just a little bit more. Ooh, look at that big scar on the back fin there. The seams themselves don't want to line up, and often, as you can see here, they want to pop out. But we can just adjust it, push it back together. Anytime you move it, it's going to want to shift and pop out like that. there we have our scary shark, the Megalodon. This is an outdoor rated prop, so the plug does have a covered switch. The switch also has a timer, so if you were to set it on the timer setting, it'll go for 6 hours, turn itself off for 18, and then back on, so you don't have to mess with it after it's plugged in. Let's go ahead and click it on and see. I can see the LEDs light up here in the mouth. I'm not sure. Oh, it does look like the eyes as well. I know it's a little hard to see here in the daylight. I've gone ahead and moved him over here on the walkway toward my front door next to the ponds. I think here it's going to be really visual for my party area, and then it's going to prevent any trick-or-treaters from making their way to my front door because, you know, I like to hoard that candy. I think what I'm going to do is take some broken up pallet wood, painted the same color as my deck, and spread it around the base here so it looks like he's breaking through the deck from the pond. I think that's going to be a really good scare, and hopefully it'll look equally good at night. So let's wait for it to get just a little bit darker and we will light him up. It is a good thing that this guy is waterproof because he looks even better wet. What luck, it started to rain. So normally, you know, I'm not thrilled with the red light effects lighting props up, but I actually kind of like it in this sense because the inside of his mouth is supposed to be all, you know, red and kind of looks very bloody and much more ominous. The red lights in the eyes, I could maybe do without, I'm not so sure. But let me know in the comments what you think. Overall, I'm pretty happy with him. I think he was a nightmare to put together. I mean, it says on the instructions 30 minutes for 2 people to assemble this guy. I think it took us at least an hour. But now that he's together, I don't want to take him apart. So he might be sitting here until Halloween. I don't know. One other thing is, I tried to decorate him a little bit. I wanted to put my skeleton mermaid sticking out of his mouth, but it's so angled, I couldn't get anything to stay in there without falling off. So that's a shame. I guess we could, you know, drill a hole and zip tie it, but I don't want to ruin it because he's a cool prop. I think that's the God's way of saying that we need to wrap this video up. So before we go, I did want to say a special thank you to all the patrons who help support the channel. If you're interested in joining our Fright Club, be sure to check out a link to my Patreon page in the description below. That's going to do it for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. Until next time, take care and happy haunting.